Hi friends, this is Mrinmoy Bose. We are coming up with a new chapter, types of borrowers. In previous chapter, Shivam Gados has taught you regarding types of credit facilities. Now these credit facilities will be taken by whom? We will talk about those people in this chapter, types of borrowers. So first type will be individual. Okay. Second is partnership firm. Third is HUF, Hindu Undivided Family. Fourth is companies. Fifth is statutory corporations. Sixth is trust and cooperative societies. And seventh is LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. Now we will discuss each of these things one by one. First, we will come to individuals. Now, individuals are governed by two acts, Indian Majority Act and Indian Contract Act. Now, Indian Majority Act tells that a person who is more than 18 years of old is considered as major and the person who is below 18 years of old is considered as minor. So individual, when they are dealing with bank, they are governed with three principles. First is a minor, a person. If he is minor, what will be the consequences? If a person is of unsound mind, what is the consequences? And if the person is a disqualified person, then what is the consequences? And these are governed by Indian Contract Act, and Indian Majority Act. Okay, so minor means below 18 years of old. So when a minor comes to take loan from the bank, can bank give loan to them? Answer is no. Bank cannot lend to a minor because Indian Contract Act does not within Indian Contract Act it does not falls. It is not a contract because a minor cannot come into a contract with the bank. But if you may ask that why do we urge the minor to open a savings bank account with us? To inculcate the habit of savings in the minor, to make the minor understand about the banking regulations or banking or about banks, so that they can inculcate a habit of savings. Now below 18 years of age, bank cannot lend to a minor. So if they are lending, that is void. First up. Second, a bank cannot lend to an unsound person. If the person, when you are lending, the person at that time is unsound mind, is an insane mind, we cannot lend to that person. If you are lending, then it is not a contract under the Indian Contract Act. Third is a disqualified person. Now from time to time, RBI provides a list of disqualified persons or willful defaulters or those kind of persons, or a person who has been declared insolvent by insolvency law. Those kind of person, if bank is giving any kind of loan or bank is lending to those people, then it doesn't come under the Indian Contract Act. So this is all about an individual. Next we are going to partnership. Now Partnership Act is partnership firms. Now partnership is governed by 1932 Partnership Act. 1932 Partnership Act. So there will be a partnership deed. Partnership deed will tell about the character of the partners and partnership, that from which bank, that is how to open a bank account, what will be the borrowing, what will be the share of profits between the partners. So like that it will give a detail about the partnership. Second, partnership deed provides the rights and duties of the partners. Now, while dealing with partnership deed, one thing we can tell that partnership deed doesn't require registration. If the partnership deed is registered, it is very good. If it is not registered, we urge for the registration, but it is not a mandatory clause. Partnership deed. Why it is? What are the consequences? We will deal with it later. Now, if the three consequences are there in partnership, that insolvency of firm, insolvency of partner, and third is death of a partner. What will happen in these three cases? Suppose insolvency of the firm is there. If the firm is become insolvent, then we should stop the transactions at that moment only. we should stop the transaction at that moment only. But if the account is in credit, if some money is there and he is not having any other debt, so that we do not have the right to set off his account, then in that case we may pay this amount to the person who is appointed by the court, or the person who is the official person to be handed over this amount. Then in that case, if the account is in debit, then we have to stop the transaction. There is no other way. Insolvency of a partner. In this case, if a partner has become insolvent, then also we have to stop the transactions. Third is the death of a partner. If the partnership, if any of the partners has died, then partnership condition is dissolved at that time only. There is no other chances. But for the time being, we can ask them to operate through a separate account till the time new partnership agreement is made and another account is opened. Now, third option will come in HUF, Hindu Undivided Family. This is Hindu Undivided Family. This is two schools of thought are there here. One is Daya Bhag law. Another is Mitakshara School of Law. Mitakshara School of Law. School of thought. Two thoughts govern this law. In this case, Hindu undivided family cannot be created. It is by birth. Due to a descendant of a particular person or a lineage of a family, this Hindu undivided family is created. This is two schools of thoughts are there. Dayabhaga school of thought and Mitakshara school of thought is there. Now, the senior most person of a home is called as Karta. Senior most person of a family is called as Karta. And he has unlimited liability. This person has unlimited liability. Other people in that Hindu undivided family are called as co-parceners. Co-parceners. And they have limited liabilities. Now, when you are dealing with this kind of HUF, what to keep in mind? When the bank is dealing with HUF, there are 3 points which you have to keep in mind. Firstly, borrower should only take amount for the benefit of the Hindu undivided family business only. We have to lend only for the family's business. Second, application has to be signed by all, and all the people has to be made jointly or severally liable. So these are the 2 points in which Hindu undivided family acts, and you have to keep in mind Hindu undivided family. Now, fourth point will come as companies. So companies are formed or governed by 2 acts. One was Companies Act of 1956, and this was modified by Companies Act of 2013. So companies are formed, or every other things has been governed by this act only. Companies Act of 2014 we follow. 2013 we follow. Now, the major point on this Companies Act is any company which is formed will have memorandum of association, article of association, and board resolution, certificate of incorporation that we will have. We'll talk about that later. Now, what is contained in memorandum of association? I'll tell you a shortcut. What is contained in memorandum of association? You have to remember it by state of Lisha. State of Lisha. So, state means state where the company is registered. Of means objects of the company. LI means liability of the company, and SHA means share capital of the company. This is share capital. How much share has been put. This all information you will get in memorandum of association. What is the liability of the company? This you will get in here. What is the objects of the company? You will get here. And state means where the firm is registered.